che ho in mezzo a tutto questo bel casino. È un motivo per sentirmi vivo, è un motivo per sentirmi vivo. Tutto quello che ho, il sangue che mi arriva dritto al cuore, l'ossigeno che spinge a respirare, è una ragione grande come il mare, come il mare. Tutto quello che ho.
Unfortunately, it's wet here in Jerez, Spain. Should be dry for the Unlimited later today. Still in the same broadcast, don't worry. But for the preseason test in the 29th ERL Formula E World Series season, it is seeming as if the floodgates have opened up in the sky. David 12, the first man out on track here in Spain. Red Devil, the second man out there with Gabriel Lamarck, actually the second man, sorry. The FG Series champion, making his Formula E debut. He's been around the ERL for quite some time, driving an IndyCar for a time. But now, he's making his FE debut. I haven't even said hello and welcome back to Sparkplug Motorsport yet. That is just how much we have to talk about today. And as well as that, look who's back. Devin Butler returning to Formula E, partnering his countrymen in UK Ball. For Car Motorsport have said that he is only here for a single season before they replace him with an OQ. Very interesting workaround with the relegation system. Anyway, you are looking at your reigning series champion, Rabbi. The ERL Formula E cars, still the ERL 03s, with an upgraded battery pack that should see these cars surpass 410 kilometers per hour. David 12 going on to a flying lap here. And, ooh, that's close coming out of the pits there with Matthew Hart in the 21 car, who effectively stays on the grass for the entirety of the opening two corners. Has to let LeBarton go by as well. Chris Cornwell in the 96 car, and has made an impression across Formula E in the 70 rounds that he's had. It's effectively his second full season. However, he didn't start the first two rounds of season 28. He wasn't even meant to be there for any of them. Oh! Oh God! What the hell? He's just run into the back of Dominic Hudson. What in the Sam hell happened there? Hudson just didn't get out the way. What the fuck? I shouldn't be swearing like that, but I'm just shocked. David 12 punching in the fastest time of 52.033. LeBarton second fastest, with the Red Devil third fastest. Gabriel Nunez Garcia, goes second quickest, as Olincro Ezra has an incident of his own. He's in the wall. That seems to be with, yes, you are Puff. Both drivers hitting the barriers there. Revo, he might be coming to try and set a lap here. Devin Butler goes fifth fastest. UK Ball going on to a hot lap of his very own. This is going to be a very interesting preseason test, because not only will it be our first look at these new cars on the track, it will also set the grid for the ERL Formula E Unlimited. And for Cornwell, not being able to set a time as Ezra goes out, well, that effectively means that he will not be able to set a time of any kind, as, oh, that's bad. That is LeBarton in the wall there, is it? Might have been. But in any case, Garcia unable to set a time. Another time at the very least, because he has hit the wall. Palomino gets past his teammate. That could have been a lot worse. And I don't think, no, Rebel was not able to set a lap time there due to the cautions coming out. Honestly, that sucks. Hart also out of the test. That's sad, but there's a man who's back in Formula E, and it's Versteo. Had a major injury sustained in round 2 last season. Has the 8th fastest time as it stands. Ocampo's gone 4th quickest. But David 12 still with the pace of the field so far today. But everyone's expecting the number 7 car, if anything, to absolutely blitz the pack. Palomino's got the 3rd fastest time now. Ericsson's 4th quickest. Revo's got clear track in front of him. But Bogdasarov is not the only man out on track. Gabriel Barton is heading down the main straight. That's not going to be very good for Revo because he needs clear air as he's going on to start his first flying lap. This will be his 4th lap around the track, but his first one that will be timed. So we're going to ride on board with the reigning series champion. It's going to be impossible to see, and it's going to be really wrangling the car by its neck. Gets past Kiro's, the Red Devil there. That's, oh no! No! Hold it, Revo! He's in the wall again, but he's held it. Hernandez on an outlap did not move out of the way once again, and just about avoided there by your boy, who was on a hot lap, but unfortunately that hot lap is gone. And for Revo, that's another opportunity for a quick lap in the dumpster, effectively. I don't think we're going to see the full capabilities of hyperdrive racing in this test. Meanwhile, that is Sparks YT15, who has come to blows there. I think, yes, with your boy. And, oh, there's yellows in the opening 2 sectors now. Oh, what's happened here, guys? How hard is it to keep the car pointing in a straight line? This is quite possibly the most delayed of all the preseason tests, and that's because the ERL opted to keep the yellow flags out, at the very least for the test, unlike what we saw in Champ Car and IndyCar. Oh well. We're on board with the Red Devil as Butler now goes on to a flying lap of his own. I think Revo is going to try again in terms of getting a lap time done and dusted. It's impossible to see the guys in front and behind you though, because looking back at the Red Devil, you're seeing plumes of spray effectively come off the back of these cars. And it's a lot better than it was with the O2s, but it's still quite bad. It's the Red Devil with the fastest second sector. 12 holding on to his fastest time, but I believe he's out of the test. I only see one black dot on the mini-map, so yeah, David 12 is out of the test. The Red Devil now punches in the fastest lap time of the preseason test as Hernandez out there on an out lap. Revo coming through the second sector. And will this be the run with 8 minutes to go? Hyperdrive Racing in IndyCar dominated the preseason test with the fastest 2 times. The 2 fastest times in the IndyCar test set by Hyperdrive's Daf Sanchez and Awful Catfish. But in Formula E, the happy hunting ground where they now have a driver who holds 7 drivers' championships with their own team, well, this is his first time lap, and hopefully nothing will happen here. Gabriel Barton is on an out lap, but should not be able to cause too much of a problem. And while we're on board with Revo, we should be able to see the fastest that these cars can go in these wet conditions. There's yellows in sector 3, and that seems to be for Zygmunt, who has front wing damage, but off in the wall there. Couldn't quite make out who that was. But they're still down there. Is that your boy? It is your boy, who is watching the Red Devil alongside with, I want to say Nico Palomino, that is, but no, it isn't. It was Daniel Bogdasarov. Revo currently down in 16th, as the only man yet to set a time, and that yellow flag killed it. Going across the line, he moves up to 10th. Every lap that this man is trying to get underway, every single lap time has been interrupted. That's gotta suck for this man. As we watch the Honda of Gabriel Barton run into his teammate. I mean, that's just the wet conditions in a nutshell, right? Can't see where you're going, nothing that you can do about it. The question is, can anyone beat David 12's time? The top two for the Unlimited, with 6 minutes to go, are both out of this preseason test. And there are 2 cars yet to set a lap time. Nelson's time is 23 seconds off of the ultimate pace. Your boy went up to 8th with his time. And I think you were par for whoever it was, also setting his time there. First Theo coming out of the pits, and it behooved Revo to do the same. Is he on a hot lap, and what's that lap time completed? He's coming through the final corner. He's not setting a hot lap, he's coming down into the pits as Hugh Cable is about to go onto a hot lap. And for this man, he's looking for championship success this season. A winless streak that stretches back to Paris in season 26. And he wants to win, not just this race, but the championship. His team broke the winless streak last season in Ontario, but they fired that man. They're looking to try and go a little more in-house at Power Motorsport, the team that proudly claims themselves to be the United Kingdom's Formula E team. And honestly, this pace, even despite these conditions, not too bad, from the 2-time Formula E champion. Going to catch up with one of the Jerez coming through the final corner. Absolutely flying, going down the straight here. He's going to get caught, and that kills the run to the line. And he drops down to 15th as someone else improves. You're going to need to have clear track in front of you, and I don't think Revo's going to get it this time. He's got Palomino in front of him. Then further in front, that's a very light blue. I want to say that's Devin Butler, but it is not. Coming through the final corners, it is one of the Andretti's. It is Marcus Nelson, ready to start his flying time. Coming through one with Marcus Nelson, the Season 9 champion. It's been so long since Season 9. We got yellows in Sector 3. Oh, don't tell me who that is. It's Revo! No luck. As that is also the Red Devil involved in that. Down into the pits for both drivers, and for Revo, he needs to get these repairs done as fast as humanly possible. He needs to be in and out of the pits, because this is going to be, most likely, his only fast lap time. And with 4 minutes on the clock, time is running out for the 7-time champion to even hope of setting a lap. Campo's gone second quickest, by the way, which is some hope in terms of trying to beat David 12's lap time. Gabriel Barton on a hot lap himself, so is Spot, and so is Nelson, who moves up into 12th place. It's just going to be a very, very interesting final few minutes of testing as LeBarton flying through the opening sector, down into Sector 2 then. He's not going to be held up by the Snec TV car. I believe it is Ocampo. There goes his fellow Filipino champion, in fact. This is going to be something else in terms of a preseason test, and then also the Unlimited later on. All the teams, by the way, will get their cars repaired, and despite the ferocity of some of these incidents, they should still be good to go. There will be no yellow flags or full course yellows in the Unlimited. And yeah, this is going to be something wholly unreal, in my opinion, what we're about to see. On board with Revo, coming through the final corner. He's got it, what he's needed throughout this entire test. He's got road to himself, but he had to let that car in front of him go by. So his opening sector is going to be heavily compromised again. Oh, you gotta feel for the guy though. Held up by traffic on every one of his laps. If he manages to get a top 10 out of this, then he has managed some absolute wizardry. Hernandez has gone second fastest. And Revo is really just looking to try and catch a break of any sort. Again, he's currently 18th. The only man behind him is Cable, who hasn't really run into the same traffic problem. It's only a tenth of a second that separates those two. fighting to not be last of those who get to set a lap time. Going down to the line then with Revo. It's his best run to the line, but he stays 18th. He can't go faster. Ocampo is going to be the only man out of the top three who will get to set a lap. Red Devil is on a flyer right now, so is Nico Palomino, who comes across the line. What's it going to be to the 93? Well, unfortunately, no improvement from him, but a massive improvement from Zygmunt following the conga line there. The Red Devil coming down into one. That's where we're going to find his lap time. With a minute on the clock, it is getting really dicey in terms of whether or not you will be able to gain position. And cautions down in sector 1. That seems to be Zygmunt. That is Zygmunt. And the Sims Racing man, Casper LeBeau, reigning vice champion in this category. And I think Revo's coming down into the pits, and with 41 seconds on the clock, he's thrown in the towel. That's it. I think Palomino, that's the last lap. Or is it? Sparks YT15 is going on for what will be the final timed lap of the preseason test. The test that will set the grid for the Unlimited. And it has been a preseason test that has been marred by multiple interruptions. Venturi, in these wet conditions, hold the front row. But we don't expect them to be that quick going into the season, and as we hit 0, there's been a massive pile-up. And I think, yes, it involves Gabriella Barton in some way, but I think it was Marcus Nelson, who has hit the wall. Sparks will not be involved in any of that. Has to brake quite heavily there for one of the Porsches. Hernandez coming to the line, and he will not get to set a lap. Coming through the final corner for Sparks. Is there an improvement for the 65 car? There is, but it's only up to 8th. 12 will be on pole. Well then, this is certainly a jumbled up order. Most of the time in the preseason test, we actually get some semi-representative times, but once again, teams might be sandbagging, and it seems like, especially in Formula E and especially in Champ Car as well, times in testing don't seem to be that representative because of all the interruptions. David 12, the fastest time from Zygmunt and Charles Hernandez. Then it's Ocampo, Garcia, the Red Devil and Palomino from Sparks, Butler, Sims and LeBeau, your boy Nelson versus Theo and Eric Sohn. Then it's Stuart Poff, LeBarton, Revo and New Cable, with Bottasaro being the last man to set a lap time. Hart, Ezra, Hudson and Cornwell were all unable to set lap times, and with that, we'll see you on the other side then for the ERL Formula E Unlimited. Well then, the rain has stopped falling, and we are here for the Unlimited, where 12 is on pole from teammate Zygmunt and Charles Hernandez. Then it's Ocampo, Garcia, followed by the Red Devil. 7th place is Nico Palomino, followed by Spark YT15. Butler starts 9th from Sims and his teammate Casper LeBeau. In 12th place, it's your boy, followed by BMW Andretti's Marcus Nelson. Versus Theo starts 14th from Linus Eriksson and Ewan Puff. Then it's Gabriella Barton, Revo down in 18th from New Cable, Daniel Bottasarov, Matthew Hart, and the Mercedes of Ezra and Hudson, and Chris Cornwell at the back of the pack. Well, we're going to see something that we certainly have never seen before in the ERL Formula E series. All 5 lights go on. And the Formula E Unlimited is go. And that's a terrible getaway there from Charles Hernandez. Got bogged down quite a bit on the start. The 2 Venturis going side by side, coming through turn number 1. Zygmunt trying to get in front of his less experienced teammate. They stay side by side and they go into the wall. Hernandez takes the lead. And that is sliding off the track for the number 12 car. 12 went from pole down to outside of the top spot. He's last, in fact. It's Hernandez from Garcia as that's into the wall for Nico Palomino. Big slide there for him. Oh, God! Holy crap! What an opening lap without the caution flags waving. I must say, it is rare for us to see anything of this in Formula E. This is your first broadcast here on Spark Plug Motorsport. Well, You picked the perfect time to hop on to the bandwagon that is the ERL. As across the line goes Hernandez at the front of the pack in what has been the most chaotic opening lap. Ocampo is out. Palomino in the wall. Oh, LeBeau showing his old teammate some love. Might be a little too much love. There's, into the wall there. Revo getting a 5-second time penalty to his own. It is carnage. Carnage, I say. Kicked off earlier on in the lap, and my, oh my, Hernandez has got an open goal. This is going to be his first race win in Formula E. Cornwell's been given his first time penalty as a hyperdrive racing man. Oh, here comes his teammate. Yoinks. A lot of cars there coming down into the pits for some quick repairs, and honestly, if we had red flags, we would be using them, but we ain't. Halfway through this race, out of the pits there for Garcia. Sparks is coming out of the pit, so it's 12 from pole position, mind you. Oh, they're spinning. They are spinning. Oh! What are they doing, gang? Marcus Nelson now has the fastest lap of the race. We're going to ride on board with him. This is giving Pocono oh no vibes, in my opinion. Ay. This is just carnage. This is pure, unadulterated carnage. Look at this from Ezra in 11th place. The hyperdrive Ben not really able to pick up too much ground. It's Revo, like a heat-seeking missile, overtaking his teammate, looking for the pass on the UK ball. I think we've got enough clips for a short already. Revo looking to the outside of UK ball, his former teammate. He's going to get past him. He's looking at Casper LeBeau for a potential opportunity, but he won't get past him. And the same energy boost. At the very least, it seems quite a bit calmer now. Maybe if I don't say anything, they won't wreck. Palomino's been involved in an incident. UK ball's out. It doesn't matter if I say nothing or say something. Carnage just follows these guys wherever they go, and maybe that's what happens when you give them too much pace. In any case, there likely will be a toning down of the pace by the end of the test. That's why we do testing after all. I'm going to the penultimate lap. Butler and your boy are on the hard compound tires. Ads. Oh yeah, by the way, I am using the new microphone, which allows me to... I'm sorry, it was funny. But we are on the penultimate lap in any case, of what has to go down as one of the most chaotic ERL races to not have more than 3 retirements. Because yes, we've only had 3. Just look at it. Hernandez onto the final lap. This will be his first career win in the ERL Formula E series. It won't score him no points, so it won't go down as a true race win. Think of it as Piastri's sprint win in 2023. Hernandez punching in the fastest first sector. Anyone who's closing up to traffic, this could go quite poorly, as that is Cornwell that he flows right past. Puts a lap down on him. Looks like there's only going to be 15 finishes on the lead lap then. As for Charles Hernandez, eat, sleep, race, repeat. Rounding the final corner, he will take home the race win in the ERL Formula E Unlimited at Jerez. He still can keep it out of the wall. Garcia coming home in second. Sims punching in the fastest first sector. Cornwell a lap down. And yeah, I guess that is your preseason test coverage here on Spark Plug Motorsport, heading into the new ERL season. Surely none of this is representative, right? None of this for Formula E or for Champ Car is representative. I think we can learn quite a bit from the IndyCar test, though. I think there's a lot to learn from the IndyCar test just because there was no interruptions and the vast majority of all of the drivers actually saw the checkered flag in not just the test but in the Unlimited as well. Well, not the Unlimited, actually. There's only like 7 finishes in the thing. Here's the podium. Hernandez taking the win from Garcia and Nelson. The Tag Heuer Porsche, this is something that they will need to work on going forward because, again, we don't know the pace of any of these teams. We don't know the outright pace. Not only was it wet, it was marred by interruptions which bled into the Unlimited. So if you're using this as any indication of who's going to be fast this season, don't. As for the rest of your finishers, of course, Garcia second from Nelson and Labarton. Then it's first Theo, Matthew Hart, Ericsson, Uapov, Ezra, and Sims, the top 10 outside of it. Then it's Bogdasar, the Red Devil, Hudson, LeBeau, Revo, your boy, Cornwell, Palomino, Butler, and 12 the finishers, despite 12 finishing on lap 4. He was under him. Your non-finishers were Cable, Ocampo, and Zygmunt. And that ends our preseason test coverage from the Electric Racing League. Next up will be the first round of the Champ Car World Series. So from all of us here at Sparkplug Motorsport, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time then when the ERL returns.